Live from Palo Alto, it's theCUBE, covering Women Transforming Technology 2017. Brought to you by VMware.
Hey, welcome back everybody. Jeff Frick here with theCUBE. We're wrapping up a full day here at the VMware headquarters. I always want to say VMworld and not VMware. For the Women Transforming Technology Conference, been a fantastic day. Kicked off by Kara Swisher, wrapped up by Gloria Steinman, and a whole lot of interesting sessions and topics in between. And really happy to have Rebecca Knight hosting all day. Thank you, Rebecca, for carrying the freight.
It's been great, it's been a lot of fun.
So I want to kind of turn the table. You've been doing all the interviews all day, and interview you kind of, you live in Boston, so you're not out here all the time. Kind of what is your perspective? A lot of conversation of kind of the Silicon Valley bubble and the Silicon Valley point of view, but it doesn't necessarily represent every place. It's a unique little spot on the world. So what's been your take on that piece of the interviews today?
I think that is exactly what I've been thinking about. As an East Coaster, I mean, I live in Boston. I don't live in Nowheresville. I mean, but it's also a center of innovation and technological change, particularly Cambridge. But there is this real special magic about Silicon Valley, and yet Silicon Valley also believes it drinks its own Kool-Aid, and so it has its own feeling of specialness too. So it's interesting to be here and watch it all happen.
Right. Other areas that you cover when you're not hosting theCUBE is management and leadership, and obviously Boston is a hotbed of academe. I think Harvard was the first college set up in the United States. So when you look at some of the issues, there's a lot of topic today on Uber, what's going on at Uber and some of the kind of overt sexism, if you will. When you look at kind of leadership and the study of leadership and management, what are some of the things that you're seeing that are kind of new and innovative? You would think it's 2017, for God's sake. You'd think we'd be past some of these sophomoric issues, but we're not by a long shot.
It is very depressing, I'm going to be honest. And I think particularly with leadership right now, I write a column for Harvard Business Review, and Harvard Business School is teaching the next generation how to be leaders, how to be responsible and be the next captains of industry. And yet in Washington we have this real example of how not to do it, in the sense of to not listen to experts, not take other people's perspectives, not be willing to collaborate and listen, really.
Right. But by the same token, I mean, one of Kara's themes was, many of the great entrepreneurs that are driving innovation, and we hear it from stories of Jobs all the time. They don't collaborate, and they don't kind of toe the line, and they do break glass and break barriers because they think differently. Not to steal directly from that line, so it's an interesting kind of juxtaposition of maintaining individuality, yet you also have to, you have to operate in the world in which we live.
Yes, and I think that exactly, yes. Those are very successful people tend to have that kind of driving personality. And yet, another part of Kara's speech was talking about the virtues of graciousness.
Right.
And how that really can also be a powerful part of leadership.
Right. So as the study of management evolves, kind of how do you see that changing over time? You've been at it for a while. I mean, is it kind of more of the same? Is it fundamentally different what they're teaching in schools, or as we study leadership? I'm always struck by, we don't spend more time kind of studying the Marines of Parris Island. I mean, they teach young kids that are 18 years old, 19 years old to turn into 23-year-old leaders that are sending people to their deaths for the cause of the greater good that their objectives are trying to achieve. It's fascinating to me that we don't draw kind of more leadership studies from a broader range of perspectives, or am I just missing the boat?
No, and I think you're absolutely right. In talking about the military and talking about wartime, I mean, those are high pressurized situations where it's not just, we're not going to make our numbers this quarter. It's my platoon is I'm sending them into their death if this doesn't work out the way I've strategized. So no, I think that increasingly business schools are trying to take lessons from other parts of the military, for example, and also using philosophy and art Design thinking is another hot thing at business schools
Right,
right now.
right.
Trying to take other disciplines and finding the best bits and what they can apply in terms of how you run your business.
It's interesting, the whole design thinking, because that's getting a rebirth at Stanford.
At Stanford,
I know,
exactly,
too,
the
right?
D
And
school, yeah.
It's funny, we interviewed Dan Gordon from Gordon Biersch Brewery, who was introducing a new apple, malted apple beverage, and he had this gal that worked at, or was from Stanford, played softball at Stanford, and they were doing this design thinking, and they just had a white label. And apparently you just go out and you go meet people and you show them the
Right.
white label and you see how the whole thing shapes out. So there does continue to be this kind of evolution.
No, it's absolutely true.
So biggest surprises of the day.
Biggest surprises of the day. I mean, I first of all just want to congratulate VMware of choosing Gloria Steinem to be the keynote close. Like I said, I think that was just such a bold choice, an unexpected choice. Yes, it's a women's conference, but she's a real feminist icon. So I think I'm so proud to
good.
be here and listen to Gloria.
And how about some of your favorite moments from a few of the interviews?
Oh, so many great interviews. Yanbin Lee, really an energetic presence,
Yes.
and she just had a lot of interesting things to say about mixing sort of her personality, her role as a mother, and her role as a leader and technologist. I
Right.
thought that was great. I loved listening to Nicola Eichat talk about how she uses design thinking to devise a sustainability strategy here at VMware. And Lily Chang talking about her childhood in Taiwan, the daughter of a mother who had to fight for everything, including an education for Lily, and now what she does here in the office of the CTO at VMware. So many great women.
Yeah, it's that's really my favorite part of theCUBE is we get to talk to so many people that just, for whatever reason, there just isn't necessarily a format for them to sit down
tell
and
their
really tell
story,
their story, and they're
yeah.
all terrific stories.
Yeah.
Well, Rebecca, I want to thank you again for making the big trip
It
west.
was great. It was great. I love it.
And we
I
look
love this
forward
place.
to many more events with you as we get deeper into 2017 conference season, which is going to be crazy, by the way. All right, well, thanks again,
Thank
Rebecca.
you.
She's Rebecca Knight. I'm Jeff Frick. You're watching theCUBE from VMware headquarters at the Women Transforming Technology Conference. Thanks for watching.